There is no question that the federal marketplace continues to grow at record rates. Just last year, the federal government spent $417 billion on goods and services. While the government's buying power is increasing, small business opportunities and access to this market is decreasing. With unfair competition and the combining of government projects, entrepreneurs are being shut out of the federal market. Currently, the state of procurement for small businesses is one that does more to create barriers than it does to encourage participation. What we have heard time and time again is that access to government projects is out of the reach of small firms. The barriers in the way of accessing this work are clear. Among them, the bundling of contracts, the lack of a strongly enforced small business contracting goal, and large firms receiving contracts intended for small firms. For the past 6 years, the government has failed to meet its 23% small business contracting goal, costing entrepreneurs last year alone as much as $4.5 billion in lost contracting opportunities. With small businesses creating 3 out of every 4 new jobs in this country, they deserve to compete on a level playing field for government work. Small firms do not deserve to be left out of the federal marketplace, but instead to be given every tool needed to continue to spur economic growth. The number one reason the small business contracting goal is not being met is because of the bundling of contracts. Individual contracts being combined works to exclude small firms from bidding on them and often results in higher costs to taxpayers and decreased value for the government. For every $100 awarded in a bundled contract, there is a $33 decrease to small businesses. When contracts are bundled together, creating super contracts, they become too large for entrepreneurs to compete. In 2002, the President pledged during the administration's announcement of their small business agenda that, and I quote, "We are going to insist we break down large federal contracts so that small business owners had got a fair shot at the federal contracting." This legislation finally puts his words into action. To create the illusion that the goal is being met, agencies are using contracts awarded to large companies and including them toward their small business contracting goal. In 2005, approximately $12 billion in contracts were falsely counted. This gives the impression that agencies are doing more work with small firms than they actually are. Access to the federal marketplace is an important mechanism for growth for small businesses. If competition for government projects is not fair, there's no way we can expect entrepreneurs to grow and expand their ventures. This is not only benefits entrepreneurs, but it also puts taxpayers' dollars to good use. For every dollar in contracts, $7 in revenue is generated for the federal government. Clearly, large businesses have more resources than small firms. Oftentimes, they have access to more capital, can hire more staff, and have fewer barriers in the way of marketing and expanding their companies. The last thing they need to be doing is taking contracts intended for small businesses. H.R. 1873 is a bipartisan effort introduced by Mr. Braley. I want to commend Mr. Braley for his work on addressing small business procurement issues and bringing this bill up for consideration. This legislation will help open the marketplace for small businesses contracts. It ensures that fair competition is enforced and that small firms are given the opportunities they deserve to work with the federal government. With the government being the largest buyer of services and goods, and small businesses being the largest job creators, increased partnership between these two is the best value for the taxpayer dollar and not only benefits entrepreneurs but communities all across the country. I strongly urge my colleagues to vote for the Small Business Fairness in Contracting Act, and I reserve the balance of my time.